Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Time for game number 2 here between HellRaisers and Evil Corporation in the grand finals of the first phase of the Galaxy Battles EU qualifiers. My name is Dragon Drop and, well, Evil Corporation taking game number 1, and that begs the question, does the stand-in factor claim the lives of another team, HellRaisers and Team Palantimos, instead of Bambo and or Kaiser, and who are still traveling back from Barcelona, so bit of an issue for them. Perhaps one of the reasons why Evil Corporation was able to succeed in the last game, but nothing to not to take anything away from them. They had a plan coming into this, also helped out by a few questionable decisions from HellRaisers to overcommit for the last set of racks, really. And well, Evil Corporation got a couple of team fights. They got themselves Rapier onto the gyrocopter, and they ended up winning the game with that after a couple of more team fights. Well, this game, HellRaisers gonna have to try and deal with perhaps a similar thing again. Gyrocopter first picked by Evil Corporation one more time, and Winter Wyvern this time though on the side of HellRaisers. So it's again, they gonna have that reset button, that safety net, the decent zone in the early game, and also the clockwork. So something that 33 likes to play in the offlane still. Whether that's going to be the case or whether they're going to run it as a 4. You have that flexibility to work with here.
10 seconds remaining.
And Evil Corporation, well, they themselves have that as well, of course. Like, we've seen them play gyrocopter mid, but safe lane is also a very viable option, just depending on how you're feeling and how that matchup is, is going to end up looking. Now for the second pick. Oh, gonna be something like a Bane perhaps, or Mirana. Alright, Bane has been banned out, but they're gonna get that half of that combo. Without a setup, arrows not always easy to land, but I guess with a gyrocopter, like the homing missile, can consider that sort of a setup. Also decent against clockwork, right? If he hooks on somebody, going to have a decently easy arrow target unless you plug us on out of there immediately too. It's yet another one of these very flexible heroes, right? You can run her as a roamer, as MNT has showed us the other day in WSG. You can run her as a mid, you can also run her as a core role. So it's, again, it's not really telling HellRaisers too much about how these lanes are gonna shape up.
5 seconds remaining.
Extra bans coming through so far with in very much standard bans. Perhaps not the Visage, but everything else, like Bane, Tiny, Puck, Beastmaster. Nightstalker's still in the pool, but HellRaisers might go back for it. Did help them out in certain circumstances here with that Vision game, but eventually it's not the kind of hero that can help you in big late game team fights necessarily, beyond that. And HellRaisers also didn't go for any sort of initiation items on their Tiny or their Darkseer.
5 seconds
So yet another one of these things where you gotta wonder, maybe if they had a blink on one or two of those, maybe they can just go in onto a target that they want, blow them up, before Evil Corporation can make some sort of counterplay.
Dire team ban.
Those are all what-ifs that don't really matter right now, do they? It's not even banned out by HellRaisers, so they don't want it themselves. But also don't want to give it over to Evil Corporation, who have yet to pick up their supports. Unless Mirana is one of them.
Turn to pick.
Alright, they don't want to get meatboat either. Sure. Not the worst lineup against meatboat. A lot of AoE damage, which not necessarily what you want. You, generally speaking, against meatboats, you want AoE control, which they only have in terms of slows from a gyrocopter cooldown. And single target, massive amounts of single target burst damage essentially to just be able to focus down one of the meeples at least. But a lot of AoE is also nice because if you do spread damage to all the meeples equally, then there's less of a chance of just the one meeple that you focus on walking away and the other still wailing away at you. Bit of an interesting hero in the way he works in that regard. Now HellRaisers looking for their next heroes. Perhaps some sort of combo with a clockwork would be in order. Invoker would come to mind. The hero that's more of a niche pick these days, more so than anything else. Doesn't have the easiest time in lane against most mid matchups even, especially with the 2v2s that's going on. You need a couple of levels to have that right click damage to contest last hits evenly, and if you get gone on, it's like somewhat limited defensive potential without these early levels, right? That's what it comes down to. But if you do get past that point, if you do get your Midas, you can still set yourself on a good road. Not so bad right though, and that's even more of a 33 classic. It looks like a 4-position clockwork instead. They have that extra initiation potential.
10 seconds remaining.
If Evil Corporation want to go for Nyx Assassin here, they can easily fit that into the lineup.
Remaining.
Either as an offlaner or more likely as their own 4-position support.
HellRaisers, turn to pick.
That's the Oracle. Alright, also works. Both of them like very common counters to Batrider. Oracle a little bit less so, you could say. A lot more defensive in nature, of course, with the False Promise. But you can't break the lasso. It's can also help you against the Winter Wyvern ultimate, I guess. Like if the Winter's Curse on top of somebody, False Promise will make sure that they don't die immediately.
5 seconds remaining.
That was their thinking as well, so...
Dire team pick.
HellRaisers? Okay. That feels like a block pick almost, more than anything else. Because Evil Corporation, in case you didn't know, in case you didn't watch these games, they played against Team Singularity. And in game 3, they also pulled out that same combo. Oracle Huskar in their 3rd and 4th pick. So HellRaisers, obviously, they did their homework.
5 seconds remaining.
I see the Oracle, which still gonna be a good pick in its own right, with the Batrider and whatnot on the field, as I just explained. But the Huskar now, HellRaisers kind of forced into it. Because, well, Oracle Huskar, that was quite devastating, the way they managed to make that work. Just executed their game plan, pretty much ignoring what Singularity did. Lost like a couple of towers here and there, they had a Storm Spirit kind of farming up. But they didn't care, they'll just rail down lane after lane with that Huskar in the middle, just unkillable and doing ridiculous amount of damage. So I'm not gonna have that same opportunity here. Now they're gonna have to deal with the Huskar themselves. So again, extra lockdown, really hard lockdown is helpful, or physical burst damage. Phantom Assassin would be in the pool if you want to go down that route. A little bit awkward against Batrider though in lane. But again, you also have the Oracle there, you can purge off these napalm stacks if you really need to. Bloodseeker would also come to mind. Could be an interesting one. Could also work decently well together with the Oracle. Definitely taking the time to think about it. Unless they're already settled on like either Moran or Gyrocopter being the carries.
Turn to battle.
Chaos Knight. Oh, well, there's your physical damage, that's for sure. Huskar will not be very happy about that. So it's gonna need a lot of help from his team, but probably discussing, alright, can we really afford the Chaos Knight into Winter Wyvern? There's a couple of different ways that matchup can work out. Either the Winter Wyvern, right? Like the easiest one is if the Winter Wyvern gets the Winter's Curse off onto one of Chaos Knight's allies, because then you don't care whether you hit the illusion or not. But if you try to use it against the Chaos Knight themselves, you really better be damn sure that you get the real one. Unless you're just killing one of the illusions, then CK is not really going to care about that. Alright, now for this last ban, I'll just take out the Medusa, honestly. They could pick it up themselves. I think Evil Corporation, they need another support here. Offers a little bit of stun, a little bit of extra control in the earlier parts of the game. Because you know Clockwork's gonna run around, Batrider eventually as well, and right, the Tinker would also be really annoying. They don't really have really good options against that. That does leave HellRaisers the option to go for the Medusa, either as a safe laner or mid laner, depending on where they want to run the Huskar. Kind of interchangeable in that regard. If you want to prevent that, then they pick it up themselves. Or just take it on the chin. But let's hope that HellRaisers don't go for it. That's a Kunkka, huh. That's the kind of hero that kind of takes some of these boxes that I was thinking about. You have that extra bit of control, bit of extra physical damage even eventually with the Tidebringer. It's not the biggest of deals if that is the support Kunkka, and definitely looks like it. It's the Invoker after all. Alright, so no Medusa shenanigans. NT is definitely one of his heroes. So they're gonna try and rely on that to carry them here through this game number 2. You also have some decent combos, right? I was mentioning it earlier in conjunction with the Clockwork. He catches somebody. I think he 33 picking it up, okay. Offline Clock after all with Milan in the 4 position. That could also be very interesting because regardless of who you run in the mids, they're gonna be very annoyed by the constant napalm spam. Because if that is a 4 position battle rider, then I think that's the best way to spend his time in the first couple of minutes. Just stand in mid, spam napalm on the mid laner, as well as probably either the Oracle or the Kunkka, just whether they want to send there to try and show that up. Probably the Oracle, because then you have that counterplay potential. Don't have to worry about it as much. Very interesting drafts. I want to favor Evil Corporation here. It's because HellRaisers lineup felt a little bit more reactionary. Especially with that Tusker pick. I don't think they were planning on it. Can still be very powerful, but I think with the Chaos Knight E-Corp they have a way to deal with it. Certainly a lot riding on NT to be the damage dealer and be the control factor, especially against the CK. Need to be landing out landing these deafening blasts and meteors and whatnot, and tornadoes. Be able to deal with all these illusions. Because if you don't, then it'll be more than enough to kill Huskar. Very easily indeed. But Raijin back on mid gyro owned me on the offlane Mirana. The only support Oracle, Kunkka roaming around. Issue here actually. Doing a J4? What? I don't know. Any crazy ways they can run these lanes. Definitely gonna be that mid invoker, and going to have to protect him. 33. Alright, this switch to the Bat Rider. Gonna be Lance dropping the Clockwork to try and maintain that, and should be alright, I guess. Melee on against the Kunkka. Yeah, should be alright in terms of the 2v2 mid matchup, but you gotta be careful not to overextend into a gyrocopter, obviously. Seen what can happen there in the last game. Then you have J4 helping out Palantimos in the safe lane and 33 in the off lane. Would be fairly stable. It can come down to how well Kunkka can actually find his rotations. How quickly he can find his level 2 so he can X into torrent, but then you can also, like if he runs towards the bottom lane, also have the potential to X into arrow. It's not the easiest thing to pull off. Actually, just to say that, how does it last? 4 seconds? Yeah, you can X somebody, throw the arrow, and Kunkka should be fine. Like, Glimpse arrow is much harder to pull off by comparison, but you can, just the fact that you know exactly where the enemy is gonna be and can control when he's gonna be there within 4 seconds, makes it much easier. Alright. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, this is Evil Corporation up 1-0 in a best of 3 series. The loser of which will drop out of the Galaxy Battles EU qualifiers. The winner will move on to face up against Team Kinguin in the second stage of this qualifier.
30 seconds to
Lens, well, walking forward, does have Kaoli behind him. You know, going to be able to secure these 2 runes up at the top as a standard. Waiting though, oh. If they want to walk across, they can do the same thing there. They only walking around now and, well, I'm actually going for it. Yeah, they're fearing the E-Corp has spread their forces a little bit more, but
The battle begins.
Well, I guess Ecorp they don't commit for that drone after all, so doesn't really matter in the end. 2 for 2 drone trade. Gonna be the end of that. Quick in mid. Valentinos. Mid is way down bottom already. So far so standard Kaoli, yeah, he's the chosen one to try and deal with Milan. And actually walking away now. Can't tell about top. There is skill potential potentially here with perhaps a drag back. Also extra minus arm. It's only -1, so we'd rather go for the stun than that is. Stun, X to follow up, not Torrent actually. And come in range for Kaoli, you can wind up a nice little Fortune's End. Not too much damage being done just yet, but 33 only having that sticky napalm and the Firefly, it will draw the, give the first blood over. Nothing as easy as that. That's what you get with all this lockdown in a single lane. And if you think about it, sure, you can set up for the torrent with the stun. But X marks the spot. Actually kind of more control because you prevent him from running away effectively here for 4 seconds. Limo mid to right in, that is, will also not quite tank the stun strike. I believe that just missed here as he's able to make his way out. Also on rocket in exchange area. Things around onto MT, X into torrent. Quite a bit of damage here, no mana for rocket barrage, but I'm gonna have to rely on right clicks, Qualifier. We'll keep NT safe though. For that exchange, we back up to full health here, 8 salve or something. And NT gains a couple of tangos, Milan unable to really match the aggression here from that area is putting out now. Standing up there very aggressively indeed. And well, same time on mid and bottom, just doing the thing with the bounty runes, just tussling with the support, making them very, very angry indeed. Giving themselves that extra one on the opposing side. We have a DT run on Konga. Oh, Milan. You running into him? Almost. Turns around again and again. Well, I was just trying to step on. Exit the torrent. Into the arrow. What? Oh, come on, guys. Come on. I was just talking about earlier how it was so easy. You still managed to mess it up. The miscommunication, maybe didn't quite see the arrow here above all the trees or something. But Lana's results able to get away. But at least they're not getting punished for it. Top lane continues to be pressured even more. 33 is still getting his levels at the very least. Level 3.5. Not the worst timing by any means. And Tom bottom here on me is only level 2.5, so it's not exactly the easiest lane up against the Huskar for any hero really. This burning spear spam is always gonna be an issue, and can't always rely on your leap because it's a very long recharge time at level 1. 60 seconds or something. Yeah. So want to be using them very conservatively indeed. Now it looks like I might want to set up to mid. The arrow fly already here. Let's split the wicket and Lancer gets the cogs off, not being punished by that. A little bit too quick on the trigger finger, have to leap down. Walk away. Well, could be getting more of these lanes, that's for sure. It's at the very least they're kind of keeping these supports there because they're fearing for NT's life. They're just trying to secure the early game as much as they can, and so far him and Jara are very even in terms of CS. Oh yeah, they're actually in trouble. X comes out and that should be enough here to keep them safe. But Milan pretty speedy here, just with the boots. And well, Sticky Napalm will not actually expire before he can get another charge off. Does have stick charges to work with, and the charge will be pushed off. So Kaoli helping on his friend. Well, apart from that, these cores just happily farming away, both of them getting complete free farm, very similar CS. A lot of last hits as well as denies. But as I was talking about earlier, I mean, Chaos Knight technically counters out Huskar. Especially in this game with no extra help available. Ryujin also not being caught by the wrap around. He's also sitting at a very stable position in mid. tower. Now though he's going into the river again, slowed down by the Arctic burn and the cold snap also catching him in blood. Plenty of time to catch up to Region. Just as to say that, Castle Curse. He just walks forward and gets himself killed. It is nighttime, so I'm not sure if they saw...
Radiant's top tower.
That's the scene with the Wyvern though, right? Because of this observer ward? Interesting. Well, old meme. That's like the big lost stories. Now that's why they're bringing Flensmeister in. Extra minus armor, but one came a little bit too late. Area party to the party, unable to provide the extra with a follow-up control. The Paladimos will be able to walk away. CK counters Huskar, but only after you get your basic number of levels. Right? You want your max out your Alter Earth at the very least, follows minus armor. You want even Phantasm, max out stun ideally, like in at least 1 point up in crit for the value. Once he reaches like level 9, 10, 11, this is where you can start thinking about starting to delete people essentially. That's what it comes down to. Area caught out. The 70 arrow will connect though, and the person down. Region Kaoli coming in from the other side. Done and dusted in the blink of an eye. Lan caught out, and E-Corp overall they're getting a slight edge in these lanes. Really worth mentioning here if you look at the actual graph. Couple hundred gold if at all. Experience is in favor of HellRaisers. That's the more important part here. Again, it's down to Mirana, but now I'm going to try and make that map a little bit different here. Going on NT, bursting down. Not tried yet here. The Cold Embrace will save him for the time being. Extra stick charges. Try to turn us around here with the Cold Snap. Rock Barrage is going to be enough for the extra right clicks though from Region. Go that kill regardless. J4 fighting up against the area. Let's commit quite a few heroes for that though. Which does mean that Palantimos, seeing how Flensmeister is down bottom, he just made rotation up top. He didn't claim the tower with the help of the catapult. It's something that Flens cannot save for himself down bottom. Catapult already died by the looks of it, so... Yeah, you're gonna continue to have to find these kind of kills, and ideally some more of them are HellRaisers. We get the lasso off here onto Kunkka before he can get anything off though. Area, with the taunt probably down, just catch nothing in particular. But they do burst down the Huskar. That's a big one. If they can continue here, they're still sitting in the fire though. 33, is doing quite a bit of damage here. Gets dragged back from Region though, but Flensmeister not quite healthy himself. Doesn't stick just to work with now. Phantasm turns this around. No more mana. Just take in for another stun here, and Badwater right click down without the Firefly to scare them away. Flensmeister bold enough to secure himself a double kill, even at low health and mana. Back to what I was talking about here. A lot of gold going to him in particular. Gonna be useful here, going towards his armlet, also a crucial item. Dampers damage output up to high heavens, and even Oracle just getting a little bit of extra money towards him is gonna be nice for some extra wards and utility and the finished Trunker Boots. Nothing's worse than playing support and sitting at 200 net worth all game, so he certainly doesn't have that. The big story is this Invoker, he's a shreds by looks it, continues being rocketed up, so he has to play very defensively here. Once he just gets built on essentially. If you're not careful, if you're a little bit too far forward, maybe there's an extra hero for E-Corp on the side. Just walking up for follow-up control, then Eden. Stun gets strong and strong, he's maxing out our homing missile. So the spam's not just obnoxious, but it's also... it's supposed to be keeping his health low, but 2 points of Quaz has a lot of region to work with. But if you stand around there and get stunned, Region walks up with Calder and Rocket Barrage, it's a lot of extra magical damage. If you're not in range for a tower, or for someone to TP into the tower and save you immediately, then... well, say goodbye to your life. Still curious to see how he's not going straight for the Midas now. Went for double nulls for lane. Ring of Basilia, so just a couple of intermediary items, and now the treads even. Not the worst item, like... well, the Quartz Vex Invoker, you'd certainly have to go for face boots to kind of offset that damage output that you're lacking without the exhort. But you can go for treads, it's not the worst thing in the world. But again, normally Invokers rely on this Midas to make sure that they get the levels that they need and get towards the Agnum Scepter to be really combat effective. Gyrocopter is certainly going for face boots. That would be helpful. That's my size. Getting closer and closer to finishing up that armlet. Oh, what? Area actually being checked down by Milan? Puts up better soul. Turns out that's enough damage to get a solo kill here. We'll go flying upon Timos. He's healing himself up on Shrine as well as the inner vitality. I think this still favors E-Corp, especially considering that Invoker's not going for that minus. Oh, better be careful, Regent. Milan, ready to intercept immediately. Oh. This clarity taken off. So yeah, again, Evil Corp. I think they can be happy with the way this game's going. Just make sure to catch up on Morana. Make sure Gyrocopter gets a couple of more levels and the money. But it's mostly about the Chaos Knight. They just want to have him in the spot where you can actually just delete Huskar or other heroes for that matter. That's where they can start feeling more comfortable fighting. At the same time, they're also gonna have to deal with this Winter Wyvern J4 hitting closer and closer. Or getting closer and closer to what's that, level 6? Once he has that, and especially with the Chaos Knight getting a couple of extra illusions of the Phantasm if he's lucky, it can kind of backfire if you then go for some sort of aggressive players. And if you don't burst down the Huskar, he's ready to just stand around. So I'm the toggle himself. It's that completed too, so gotta be a bit careful. Can't prevent the level 6 from J4, but they're still gonna look for the kills. Flying across the tree line. Once Meister last vision, they're still gonna connect with Torn, follow-up stun. Yes. Nothing can do here, apart from delaying this a little bit further with a Cold Embrace, but no TP's coming through to try and help them out. That a kill will be a kill. And probably tier 1 tower. Mid lane will be defended. Top lane, not so much though. They have a catapult here. 33 pushing it all the way to the tier 2. And meanwhile, Milan is level 6 himself, level 7 even, so he's Kaoli. Trying to just micro those illusions, but Milan not really being scared of that. Level 6 himself, he can just throw out the false promise. Worst comes to worst, and yeah, Milan can't quite get that solo kill. But you see, very timid in their reactions. Like they're just happy, chasing them away, and then continue to farm, continue to try and keep these lanes as stable as possible. That's the thing, right? I mean, HellRaisers, I feel like they could be a little bit more aggressive than they are right now. Certainly not Invoker. You can still just commit into Sunstrikes, right? That's also one of these extra other ways that you want to help out your Invoker. Set up for kills in small little skirmishes all around the map, so you can just throw in Sunstrikes and snag a couple for himself. So you can get closer towards the Midas into the Agnum Scepter. Right now, the stance he has queued up immediately without that detour. But not really doing it, even though Huskar, this would be the timing, I would think. Could already be missing it here if Lensmeister does have that armlet. I might still be worried about committing into Gyrocopter with his cooldown and his own power peak. So in that sense, E-Corp, the line are complementing each other quite nicely.
Dire are scanning.
But as a result, it means that you have like a bad rider. Sure, he can still farm up, but he's gonna have his blink tag. Maybe that's what they're waiting on. Not just relying on the hookshot from Milan to make things happen, but just waiting on a blink lasso as an availability. We'll find out now. I mean, if he TPs to a lane, brings a smoke, yeah. Might be looking for that.
The prize is mine.
Absolutely crazy important target like Gyrocopter. Hope the obvious one right now is the DD rune bottled and Kaoli sitting behind him with another false promise. Makes it very hard too, and that's that counter in the draft that I talked about as well. I'll try anyway. We draw the line across. Right now, Kaoli's in a good position to even intercept that. I mean, might tank the gank and might die himself, but might also not. 33, hookshot will lead off. Still not use the blink dagger. False promise on himself, and now the cooldown, turning this around. Milan slowed down a little bit. Gets a dust off, he has the Moonlit Shadow. Gets everyone closer, but the axe back into Torrent, into everything. They will lose Kaoli. But they do lose, give up Milan for it. Fenceman's looking for more, gets a drag back on J4. Still in the high control, arrow to follow. Now Cold Snap on top of the lasso here. Flansmeister might actually be in a bit of trouble. Has to try and arm the target, but can he really do that? Not really. Windows Curse keeps me at bay, while region, area. Yeah, that's a V-Corp. They actually finished up Palantimas. So it's a 1-4 trade in every sense of the word. With the rockets, only does have another arrow here with the axe, making sure that he stays where he's at. They would have to commit more if they want to do damage though, and with more action happening in mid, and he's out of mana. I actually thought many spells, but still, his right clicks with maxing sword do start hurt. Decent amount. Or close to maxing sword anyway. The rocket after the axe again into the homing missile. Agent is there to finish off the kill. 33. You trade for me. Okay. Back and forth. Milan dying twice. Slightly in favor of Hiccup in the end. Just the Ryujin not dying. Probably the most important part. Lensmeister though, well. Gotta be careful not to fall too behind on this Chaos Knight. It's very momentum based hero. He starts to slip, then be a bit tricky to make him work. So far though, he's still sitting on top of the net worth chart together with his opponent Huskar. Where's that Sanj now? So he's probably gonna turn that straight into a halberd. Super useful to have that evasion, try and keep himself a little bit longer up against opponents running at him. And Tempest's arm could also potentially be devastating up against Zero like Gyrocopter. For now, they're gonna run into each other with the smoke. Winter's Curse here, nicely done though, onto the Kunkka. Little follow-up damage, no shot coming through as well. Milan catches 2 of them, area will still get a few spells off, but will fall in return, maybe not here, a couple... yeah, he does get false promise. Gyrocopter not having the same protection means that he will fall on the wrong side of the Cogs area. And he'll still be run down. Flame Break will push him down further into another set of Cogs. That fight not exactly working the way that E-Corp had that in mind. HellRaisers ready for that. Quick reactions there from J4 throughout the Windows Curse. Now, we're trying to go for Roshan. Might have the light shield on Huskar, so we need someone else to tank it up. And right now they have the Force Spirit plus the Cold Embrace to make sure that it doesn't die. That makes it very easy indeed. Aegis Huskar, well, it's one of these ways that you can still protect him. Make sure they can YOLO and do ridiculous amounts of damage in a fight, stand there with low health without really having to worry too much about dying and being taken out of the equation entirely. And still needs a little bit of extra time. It's only level 10. Yeah, that's level 13 on Mirana as well as the Huskar in particular. Keep on that, you need the maxed out spell at the very least.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. That's later, alright. I was thinking Maelstrom actually, which would be the more classic Mirana build. But he wants to do more damage and wants to help out against the Huskar. They realize that they probably not the best idea to only rely on the FenceMeister. Having the extra minus armor available makes it much safer to go for him. Where's Gyrocopter at? All the DD rune bottles, going for the BKB next for now. Face Scrums and the Aquila, very cost efficient items. But Gyrocopter traditionally can hit the slump in the mid game where magic damage is starting to get less and less effective. Especially when you're considering heroes like Huskar, of course. But right now there's no BKBs or anything in the works. But anyway, just due to the nature of how the game progresses, with everyone getting a little bit more tanky, like magic damage will start falling off, but you still need the BKB to be able to fight, so you're not building into right click damage. This is another one of these timing windows that HellRaisers might be able to exploit. Especially with the threat of the Blink Lasso now, the Halberd completed on Huskar. With the Aegis still in hand, E-Corp, they have a couple of fighting right now. In fact, they just use the Phantasm to just continue farming. Just want to wait out the Aegis and then take the chances afterwards. At the accuracy, we need a Blink queued up for the Chaos Knight. It's also worth waiting for, surely. And Stanzo, Moonlight Shadow coming through, and well, area being caught out. Scaly will be right click down in the end. Palantino's still very much alive from Lasso. Next up to Gyrocopter, still gets the spells off. And has to walk away. Two of his teammates have died already. Not gonna get any counter kills here, even with Own Me. Trying to intercept in the back. They claim the Aegis, alright. At the very least, I got that. Palantino sitting at virtually 0 health. The Armlet. Sure, that was worth it though. We paid 3 heroes just to claim that Aegis. Still lose it here to Tower at the very. They should make sure though that they're not going high ground, but at the same time, HellRaisers said they've shown that they have no qualms about going high ground, even though it might not be the best, very best of ideas. But right now, they're drawing the line. Yeah, guys, let's take mid instead. House below half health is much easier money. Well, they could slip in with the Invis. But Observer Sentry combo, of course, it's gonna be down. Catches out area, and Decall, they pay the price. They lose 2 towers for it, more than likely, unless they can get something else off of here. Flame Splice, oh. Mid-right animation, 33 with a quick blink. They're still gonna get LT though. And the Ghost Walk Invoke, but couldn't get it off in time with all the control. They would have had no detection, so. Would have been a bit of a problem. Right now, Milan behind enemy line still. Don't think they have any head here though. What do they? Area? He's looking for him, yeah. He finds him, might give up his life though. And he will indeed, with the Blade Mail in particular, but gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. Region claiming that for himself. For him to try and stay up there with NT. Game still relatively even here if you look at the farm distribution on these cores. HellRaisers slightly ahead here based on Palantimos, who got a little bit more out of that push with the towers going down and with the help of the Aegis. Compare that to Own Me, who hasn't really been farming a lot. Obviously it's also one of these effects of the Desolator over something like a Maelstrom or an Agnum Scepter even, that's being picked up these days a couple of times by some Arana players. You're just not farming very effectively with it. Not by long shots, it's more of a pick-off and a teamfight item. And he hasn't really been able to get, find many of these kills. Oh no, Kaoli again. This time he does get the ultimate off. Milan will fall. Oracle, is he able to heal himself up enough? It got 1 Purifying Flames off, Soul Release still taking him out, but yeah, will enough heal. Want to survive that despite Sunstrike, despite everything. So well done, Milan. Eye himself again, trying to go for a kill. A cheeky play with Oakshot. You gotta be careful with these kind of plays. They keep failing. That's the kind of gung-ho style that lost HellRaisers game number 1. Although the rest of the team still the cool common collectors, tier 2 up top, very low health, so should be a freebie. Decop still not quite feeling confident enough to really fight up against it. Phantom and cooldown for Flens. Pushing down bottom here. He picked up his blink again now. So it makes things a little bit easier. Blink forward, into the stun, into the Alti Rift. Rather than having to walk up and just being fogged all the time. 33 though, okay. Look for KO again. Of course, if you go on the Oracle, you can't count it out, especially with false bombs and cooldown. Suncircle missed though, as he doesn't actually drag it back into it. As a result, Oracle will still be able to survive. Palantimos in the middle of that here, disarmed Chaos Knight, but the control is still there with the boat coming through. Winter Skills on Gyrocopter just keep him with the BKB. He's not gonna get the few right clicks off. J4 next on the list. 2 years down, they're looking for more. Owned Me, racking away into 33s. Far enough away, Milan actually intercepting him. Now has to deal with Ryojin though, with the extra homing missile. Dragging him back, and it's 4 for 2 trade in the end. Double kill for Ryojin. Flensmeister just showing off the strength of this Chaos Knight, even without the Phantasm. Being in there, making a beeline towards his Huska. Take him out of the fight before he can right-click much at all. Also forcing out the Winter Wyvern ultimate just on a solo Gyrocopter as he came in, poised to do a lot of damage himself for the BKB. This is what Eco has been waiting for. And they just commit the Phantasm to help push down these towers. They don't have any other pushing utilities, so I guess why not? Only won a team fight. Might as well get more money out of that way.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
In a figure, well, illusions aren't all that strong right now anyway, without me having extra stat items. Ooh, for Halbert himself, which is also super helpful. Much as he can't attack with with the disarm from Huskar, either with the Huskar, so yet another way of controlling him. Also go for Satanic, so he's disarmed at the right time when he's used that, then might not even get any use out of that item. Again, Palantinos not having the easiest Huskar game because you don't have that secondary hero. Make sure that you don't die. You don't have a Dazzle, you don't have an Oracle. Just in the fact of that being a bit of a block pick to make sure that Evil Corporation doesn't cheese them in turn. Yeah. So far, those Chaos Knight pick has done more than enough to counter it out. So evidently, they know that. They not only know how to play Huskar, but also how to counter. We'll see if they can continue to do so, though. Again, it's all going to come down to how they take these kind of fights. Hold me slowly but surely inching ahead in terms of net move. Last time I checked was like, what, 7.5k? Now with the Moonlit Shadow. Not really catching anybody out. Just for security here, maybe just making HellRaisers think twice about where they were to go. Right now, that is top lane J4 with a Ghost Fork. Oh, another Phantasm used. Then's one in lane, maybe trying to bait something out with it, the others. And himself continuing to farm up. What he wants to go for next one is just going to be a heart or something else. Oh, well played. Couple of TPs come in. And area out on me. They're actually still sitting around under the wall, so going to be gone on. Lasso on one, hookshot on the other. Area isolated from the rest of the team, of course. He'll be burst down with the entirety of HellRaisers sitting around on me. A little bit harder to actually get rid of, but that was his last leap charge. Takes some movement speed. The 3 still gets ahead with a blink into the Yule, trying to TP out. That's not gonna happen. Tornado's there with a complete combo from NT. Actually misses the Deafening Blast and whatnot. But he will still fall in the end. 2 free kills for HellRaisers set up by this nice little vision here. Okay, I think he's just sitting just to the edge. Very unfortunate indeed. That's interesting. Winter Wyvern. Plus 500 night vision rather than plus 350 health. So you can see quite a bit further actually. Yeah, almost as well as during the day, even I think just as well. I'm entirely sure what the values are. Yeah, it's also going to be significant if they can get this for free. Aegis and Cheese in the hands of Huskar and or NT. It's just been scouted out, maybe with Milan walking about, but it's just way too fast. E-Corp might be in for another 5 minutes where they just have to dodge and make sure not to take a team fight. BKB, of course, that's the other thing. Not necessarily something that you want to build on the Chaos Knight. Oh god, bottom lane, hookshot again into the Sunstrike. This one will connect. No false promise, just the Fate's Edict. It's not going to be enough to secure your survival in that situation. These pickups don't really help for E-Corp, but they've been doing a good job just keeping the lanes out as much as they can. And if HellRaisers can't deal with that, if they just keep having to look behind their back, then they might not even be able to make use of that Aegis. We're gonna have to cheese for Huskar, right, as a possibility. Right now, Invoke is holding onto it, but they might decide to give it away if the Aegis expires for nothing. You can certainly see that HellRaisers don't want to make the same mistakes that they did in game number 1. And I don't know when Chaos Knight wants to stop using the Phantasm like that. Standing around, scout, farm. You would go for meta style if you want to use solutions that liberally, because like, I think at this point you need them for damage output. You generally sure you got the Monkey King bar, so it's still only like 165 damage or so in total. You also have a 75% chance to do 60 bonus damage, so that's useful. But still, I feel like having this Phantasm available as extra damage in the middle of a team fight. Oh no, Flensmeister trying to TP back, but that'll be cancelled by NT. With the double, he can come up there as well if he wants to. Hookshot, this time they have the 4 staff to work with. But creep linking forward though onto Kaoli, trying to bring him down. Winter's Curse to make sure the rest of the team can help. The arrow will still fly onto Haskell. Let control him up for a little bit. Now the false promise on the Gyrocopter. If he can feel comfortable going in, the Aegis. Also look at the Moonlight Shadow. Can they get him a second time? Is the question. The rocket on the homing missile flying up on Clockwork. Disarm. Follow up right clicks. Chaos Knight still managed to make his way back. One controlling him further. The axe bringing back down to half health. Another drag back here in -1, but now NT coming through. Eats the cheese. Drops the combo now with the with the meteor hitting a couple of heroes, including Flensmeister. Might have to buy back here actually. Him and Kunkka die both on me, trying to stay alive here. Leaping away. Triogen got on front lines as a result. Flensmeister coming back in. They need more. Get Pound Teamos, which is good. Another drag pack available, but the Cogs make it very, very hard indeed to actually get in range. Another buyback already used on a Kunkka, who will not be able to get in range for anything. Everyone else inside of HellRaisers, TPing out. Thought HellRaisers in a much better position. Yeah, that was. That being said though, that was only part. Oh god, hookshot again. Only still has a shrine available to Milan. Oh, he's the one who's scrambling, trying to get out. The Sunstrike will land. Will be connected together with Area though, who. They're actually gonna find him here. Yeah, they see him. X will connect now into the boat. Why not? Milan. Oh, yeah. Actually still alive here. Not keeping them away, but the arrow will miss. Come on. Come on, just there we go. There we go. Kaoli says, nope. Not dealing with that anymore, just freaking die. Alright, so that was a good fight for HellRaisers overall. Fight that extra kill. But it only really worked out because NT was there to cancel Flensmeister's teleport. He was back there at the beginning. Maybe the fight turns out differently. That was also with Aegis and Cheese, and they didn't claim the racks or even did significant damage to tier 3 towers. So all they really got was a couple of kills as well as buybacks. This can still be significant enough if they win the next team fight too. Because then they, like, if they kill Flensmeister again in the next couple of minutes, he won't be able to come back, obviously. And it's the majority of your damage output down the drain if you E-Corp. It'll make things easier. Also, one thing that they've been lacking in the last game is blink initiation potential. Winter Wyvern picked up hers. Yoli obviously got the one Bad Rider for a long, long time. Also Invoker, he also picked one up in the meantime. Is smoked up. Hoping for someone to show up here, but right now, not seeing anything on the map. E-Corp, they're very, very careful. Sitting all the way here behind the tier 2s and the tier 1 mid. Or tier 3s, 4s I should say. And the tier 3 mid, okay. Yep. And he says it, all enemy heroes are missing. Exactly for them, they see Ryogen with the water on the high ground. And that is Hookshot though in mid. Onto Flensmeisters could turn into something. Does have the BKB to work with though, and well, doesn't quite get it out here before the lasso here walks back into the Sunstrike, but now it turns things around. And can't really kill Clockwork with the Blade Melon. Now, Winter's Curse just to keep him controlled a little bit further, but he can blink out of it. Meanwhile, a little bit further down, Oddme, maybe some sort of interception, can leap away. NT though catches him with the cold snap, blink across, a couple of extra right clicks. That was the last leap, and it was not enough to get him out of range. E-Corp. Very important hero to have too. That desolated the Sacred Arrow, a little bit of extra burst damage from Starstorm. Bobby is still there for Morana if they need it. Yeah. Well, they've baited out a couple of spells. Hookshot, Lasso, None of those are really long cooldown. J4 and only 30 seconds on this Windows curves either. Or 2. So it's not the longest in the world either. Despite that being a bit of a waste. Evil Corp still don't feel comfortable walking out of their base. They're just hoping that HellRaisers overcommit into them again. So they can then win a team fight and go from there. Certainly have the capacity. Lacking by, even though it's been used, it was a 10-second charge. Not getting any kills off of it. It's 9 seconds still serviceable. Region is also still farming. Right here's zone BKB. Down to 8 seconds and working towards that butterfly. Right now it's also probably wanting to hold on to buyback. Him and Old Me both still have it. Same for the Bat Rider. No one else on the field right now. Ghost Invoker. He went back for late Midas. So not gonna help him maintain that network lead and also catapult him towards level 25. So I wonder if he wants to go for the AoE Deafening Blast this game, the Tornado cooldown. I myself am a big fan of the Tornado cooldown in most circumstances. Because you can spam it out, especially here when these sieges take a little bit longer. And a soul shot again, Milan continues to go in super aggressively all the time. The force on Coyote up to the high ground though, into the rest of HellRaisers, at least J4 and 33. Like this time, wants to leave Milan to die. Flensmeister coming through, just absolutely annihilates J4. Now Altima's also caught in front, disarmed, stunned, dragged back, and deleted. BKB will make sure that real Flensmeister will not care about the storm, and now NT! Ghost Walk to try and get him out of there. They do not quite have detection at the ready by the looks of it, so he will be successful. But look at his physical damage, down to half health with just like 2 or 3 right clicks. Base created though, top lane. Double catapult wave, finished up the tier 3.
The prize is mine.
Maybe that was the plan all along for HellRaisers, just leave the job to Cardi. Little 2 heroes sitting there, just waiting to try and pick somebody off 33 with a blink glass available. So far, Evil Corp not exactly accommodating them region though. This could be an important one. Yes, the Black King Bar, but seeing the Tornado. But be careful, maybe not so much though. Now Tornado already used, but still the Stun Strike as well as the Cold Snap. Of all this damage over time, just gets bursted down. Area wants some revenge. X back into Torrent, into the boat. Do they have the damage here with Kaoli on me there? Follow up arrow. They should, and they will. Flensmeister claim the kill. 544 extra gold for him. They will lose their range. Not quite. Evil play here. Stun up one and Fate Seedic the other, so it can't attack. Even at least keep their range tracks alive. Only just 56 health points. But for now, the lane equilibrium will be in normal proportions. This is what E-Corp are waiting for. Losing Gyrocopter wasn't the plan, obviously, but they still got that counter kill up against Invoker, and the team fight before that they certainly won. Just the strength of the Chaos 9 here. That's it. They want to use the Phantasm for damage, and that's the reason why I just instantly delete people. Bug out Dota, error 4-4. Hero not found or something, I don't know. That's what shows up here. It must have shown up for J4 as he all of a sudden couldn't use the spells anymore. Now Roshan's gonna be the next big thing. 25 seconds until that guy respawns. Evil Corp trying to set up around this pit. There's one ward combination in mid. They might also want to put one up on this high ground, but Simulan holding down the fort. Place one down on their own high ground at the very least. Flamebeak, Rocket and whatnot should be enough to scout it out for HellRaisers eventually. Question is, oh, E-Corp, there's all smoked up. Try to find foot picker on this, like, looks like that's the plan. They draw the line across. Sunstrike inside the pit, they see it. You can also just wait for the vision to expire and then go for Roshan. Then see, yeah, they just continue to ping it out. They continue to spam down with rockets, so sneaking it, probably out of the question unless you want to commit a Phantasm. You can use that now against Roche, which is useful for any, super good news for any illusion hero. But they're not pulling the trigger. Don't want to risk it here. It's still very, very dangerous. Like HellRaisers is ready for it. J4 close to it with the blink, with the glimmer cape. He can. Has all the tools to make sure that he can get a good window curse off in this kind of a choke point. Now they're gonna try again. Night Shadow. Walking across unspotted right now. Even with the rocket coming in. They are sitting in a very defensive position though. Milan up front, J4 in the back. Palantimos, be a bit more careful here. Another rocket, another smoke here. Such a big commitment now with the arrow flying in. That's been scouted out. Now they see Ryujin, they see Omi, they see everyone just showing up in the blink of an eye. Now the smoke up commences. Oh, gotta be super careful here. Yeah, going through it quite quickly, but not quickly enough. Milan comes in, there it is. The Winter Curse on a giant cop. He's gonna be taken down. Maybe not! There it is! Kaoli with false promise just at the right time. A tornado snare. Flensmeister with the BKB. Instantly taking care of J4. And now looking for Palantimos. Drag back. Right clicks out there. Taken down. Ryujin will still fall after the false promise. But they did what they came to do. He still did a little extra damage. Now Omni just straight up killing 33. Will he take out the damage over time? He will. So 1-4 shade there. Overall, Space created perhaps NT. He wasn't even part of that fight. Did some damage. Forced back a few heroes, but not enough. Flensmeister, with all of those phantasm illusions, still able to secure. What? Oh my god, what a god. NT, I told you, man. He's an Evoker player. Just snipes him down with the Sunstrike as he was walking towards the fountain. Anyway. Flensmeister able to secure Aegis and Shears, and he's also carrying the first shot. Completely loaded with loot, he is right now. Still, huge victory for Evil Corp. Also goes to show if you look at the graph afterwards. Before that fight, it was still around like 4-5k in favor of HellRaisers. Experience, well, already not so much actually. Experience now well in favor of E-Corp, and the goals almost down to 0. And of course you have that big momentum with the Aegis, with the cheese, with the refresher shot. And now with this pause gives us some time to theory craft about who they want to put that shot on actually. Could say Gyro, or like double BKB, double call down, it's not the worst, but probably most importantly double flag cannon. It just adds up to a lot of damage output in these fights. Probably not Marana, it's not really worth it. But maybe consider Kunkka just for double boat. Or you can just keep it for himself, I guess. Double Phantasm, like you get an insane number of illusions. We'll see. Alright, so HellRaisers have got the work cut out for them. They need to hold. Now it's their turn to just play defensively. Make sure that E-Corp doesn't roll over them just now with the next team fight. So NT already has that idea, right? Just he has the TP boots, he can just bounce across the map, trying to keep all of these lanes pushed out. They draw the lines, hey, there, and there. Top, middle, bottom. And right now, these lanes are in that position. Bottom lane has to be taken care of, middle lane is gonna push in with the Forge Words help. And top lane as well. Already across the river, NT will make sure that stays that way. For a little while anyway. Especially with top lane exposed like that, E-Corp, if they just decide to go YOLO down mid, then they might lose the Celebrax in return if NT sticks around in the top lane. The issue here, toilet, okay. Oh man. Don't want to be constipated. Yeah, looks like we're ready to go again. Evil Corporation, they can taste victory. Up against HellRaisers, definitely an achievement. And especially also because of what it means. Their next opponent would be Kingwin. Also a very tough opponent to say the least. Especially with their recent experience. At the Perfect World Masters and... Well, still a long way to go if you actually want to punch your ticket to the major, but if you somehow manage to make that work, this would be an amazing series of events here for Evil Corporation in particular. Like, looking at the lineup, you see these pop stars area out of Egypt even. It's a region that's not necessarily known for top tier Dota, but he's definitely the exception. And certainly a region that's very passionate about Dota. Like, you just ask Borno about it. friend of mine is just super hardworking, and they have God knows how many teams for all the tournaments and open qualifiers and whatnot. What they do there in that region. So area being successful like that, really nice to see indeed. Well, not gonna get easy though. HellRaisers, they still are kind of farmed on Invoker. It's the longer the game goes, the more of an effect NT is gonna have to have, because again, Palantimos, he's been counted out by this Chaos Knight in the last couple of fights. We've seen time and time again why that is. Lensmeister pop the Phantasm, just make a beeline straight for Huskar. As long as he has the BKB going, NT can't even help him with that. That BKB down to 7 seconds, so that timing window is gonna get shorter. As soon as Lensmeister comes in with the Reality Rift, just take down J4 time and time again first, and then just find Palantimos and just get him with a couple of swipes. And I don't know what the solution to that is, unless outside of just going straight onto Lensmeister first. Try to just blink lasso him. Let's go ham. Let's see. Right now, let's spend a cooldown. Hookshot comes through. Does have the refresher shot available, also the Aegis even. Now, the ball will fall. BKB already used, but they do get the initiation here in the back. That's Kaoli, so no defensive utility. Tornado will still time out some of that, some of the window skirts. The bolt flying through everything. 33 on the side. Lensmeister still almost unkillable here in the front. He did throw that secondary Phantasm here with a refresher shot, and that'll be enough to eventually bring down Palantimos, despite Winter Wyvern Cold Embrace here. Just like that. This is exactly the kind of team fight that HellRaisers could not afford, especially 33 coming back into it. You'll stop into the air, but brought down eventually. Oh no. Well, he did get the kill on Mirana, I guess. Only ultimate ready. Yeah, he's like, hey guys, I tanked that for you. I set that up. Praise me, please. Praise me. Certainly, yeah, but him certainly tanking that lasso, that hex, that burst. Sure, you need to do it because the false promise can just save anyone you go on otherwise. But then, bit of miscommunication too. This Winter Wyvern with the Winter Scourge on the Gyrocopter, not the worst, but then the Tornado just delaying the damage so much. We didn't continue to be able to fight with Lensmeister even, like, he doesn't care. Get that secondary Phantasm with the refresher shot, use that himself. And even blinks away so it doesn't get sniped by the Flame Break. Once again, this time they claimed the first set of racks of the game. Well, not just that, just the melees, but this momentum thing. Look at the graphs. This is not supposed to happen. Maybe it's a standard factor. Maybe it's something else. But Butcher Travel gonna be coming up next, so yes, that even finds himself a region win. Okay. Gonna say, yeah, maybe once a hard to just make sure that he can always stay full health between these engagements. Well, if you keep running region wins, it also helps out. Might still be no docket for him eventually. You can maybe replace the Echo Saber. Don't think you want to get rid of the halberd, yeah, or the blink dagger for that matter. Been so instrumental in just making sure that he can get on target. And that's his one job this game, just kill Huskar and then everything's alright, because look at net worth distribution, yeah, he's sitting with 18.3k net worth. But if he gets killed in every single team fight without really being able to even right click a few times, then what does that net worth really matter? What does it do for you? Absolutely nothing. This comes down to the draft. It's almost like HellRaisers should have maybe let E-Corp get Huskar, the Oracle Huskar. But that's a crazy thing to say too, so it's like, well, they had a plan. Kaoli. Man with a plan here with the Strath. Milan coming through, shows himself, but that's a little bit more than you can reach. Who is it? Go for the Hex Gyrocopter, but Kaoli comes through with the ultimate. Oh no. Going in S2 into 5 heroes this late in the game, you're not going to come out ahead in that. It's just not possible. Kaoli, he's level 22 now, so it's only 30 seconds on a false promise. It's not a big commitment. Moonlight Shadow as well. I mean, that obfuscated the strength a little bit, but that means it did its job. So with this push, gonna have to buy back on at least NT. Let me Clockwork first. You might need both. He does have another hook shot, but can you do that? NT is the only more or less reliable damage dealer here. Then we have BKB and Palantimos, and now that's supposed to coming through. Just sends his Phantom a little first. One of them just to try and zone them out. I'm just threatening. Right now it's a Flamework on top of him, so he can't blink forward. Instead, we're just gonna focus on these buildings. They're trying to hold on to the buyback and NT, but that does mean that they have to give up this full set of racks. And we thought they're gonna be happy with that. What's to stop them from just claiming that set of racks, getting out of there, and then trying to do the same thing again a little bit later. J4, try to get in for the Winter's Curse, but now this round force will get him out of range of the call down. Another one of these low commitment things. Only at the same time we finish up the range tracks mid. And this is exactly how the map looked like in the last game for Ecorp though, so hey. So the same thing, both these racks missing, but still the tier 1 in the off lane. Just completely ignored this entire game. But not for too much longer. Ecorp, well, Moonshot is the choice. And he did someone else, didn't he? Dark, right? I just sold it again. I just sold it again. Takes it up again. Eat it yourself, alright. And the Echo Sim. SAC queued up, like, I would still go hard here, but he knows better than me. He's always in 3.3 health points. He's not dying in these fights, so what do you really want from the heart? Need to do the damage, and we'll give it that for sure. Attack speed now. 298.57 seconds. Okay, hook shot again. Don't go. This time they initiate on KO. Can they burst him down though? Maybe, maybe not. NT with extra right clicks and the AoE deafening blast. Hecked up, but still very much alive. Meanwhile, the backlines here. Flensmaster comes through with a BKB. They've lost one. They've lost two. Palantimos, well, with the Satanic, he lived like 2 or 3 seconds longer. Keoli is gonna take out of this. No, he's back up to full health. Buyback on NT. Lan trying to TP out, but they get the X. Waiting at what? What? Oh, he used it. Oh, nice. Interesting. The extra system is like, what? Does he have a BKB? How does that work? But yeah, he just used it. It's fine. Alright. 5 excels. Volk is on cooldown. Rock was on cooldown. And Batrider is also on cooldown. Speaking of Batrider, oh god. He's gonna try. He tried to skip creep waves. He was successful in that regard. We can't get the tier 2 anytime soon. And even survives. Only area there. Could potentially just backdoor, but it's gonna take forever.
The prize is mine.
That they might want to look for next Roshan. We'll respawn in a minute. Very worth waiting for that. They've used all of the ADC's and Refresher in the meantime, so get another set of that. Should really secure Ecorp's victory here. Same time, if HellRaisers can somehow contest that themselves, it would be big, but that would require a really, really good team fight. And fast too, because they have 2 lanes pushing in. If they take too long to make a team fight happen, they'll at the very least lose tier 4s. These do not regenerate anymore. One already down to half health. I'm not sure what the alternative is. The thing is, if NT dies now, the game's just over. Palantimos and Huska has been more or less useless this entire game. 3, 8, and 8. This is not a score that you want to see on your Huska player. 3 kills, 8 deaths, 8 assists. No, this is certainly not what this hero is supposed to be doing. Ecorp, very patient. They can feel victory. They can feel the wind on their fingertips. They just need this for a chance. Sunflake comes through, scouting it out. It's falling extremely fast though. No way that HellRaisers can even think about contesting this. One more time. Aegis, fresh a shot. Aegis actually in... picked it up, Own Me. Own Me gets the Aegis, alright, sure. Fusion, picks up the cheese, drops down the Ring of Aquila. Very full inventory here at this point. You can also pick up the Lincolns here if you want, and you certainly have the time to. They have 1 creep wave. Oh, no, actually not these. Range will fall before only can save them, and the next creeper is actually being taken care of by NT. So HellRaisers making a good place, trying to do what they can to delay the game, because they need to do that for another 5 minutes. Still not gonna be easy, because even if you slow the game down for that long, you might not have to play against Aegis, but there's still cheese as well as your fresh shot, double Phantasm potentially. Lensmeister, even just with a single Phantasm, they have very little ways of actually dealing with these solutions. Beyond the Invoker spam, as well as the Winter's Curse. It's just gonna come down to that. J4 hasn't really been able to find the big ones. Like, you need to... It's like really harsh set of conditions that you have to meet, right? You need to get someone like Gyrocopter or Only. Only has a Lincoln Sphere. Gyrocopter has one too whenever he wants to pick it up. Probably also wants to hold on to my just for security. So, I need to get Only or Gyrocopter with that, because you need to take one of these damage dealers out of the fight. While Flintsmeister and his illusions are sitting next to him, because he's the one doing the damage. And then you have to have your Invoker and not mess it up with a Tornado in the meantime. Or Kaoli, you also need to get Kaoli into it, right? Because otherwise you just throw out false promise. That's what it comes down to. It's got a poke. They've gotten rid of, but with a tier 2 down, that region is never really going to come back up as long as this middle creep wave is pushed as far as it is. This is certainly not looking good. This gold graph, I mean, doesn't even look like HellRaisers had that big of a lead, but it was close to 10k at some point. It was very comfortable. But they lost it all. Now it's up to 22k for E-Corp. Same in terms of experience, and now poking and prodding away at this tower. And this Phantasm used in the backline. Just gonna send the illusions in. He does have a second one if he wants to. Poking. Just wanting to secure that Mega Crease, because that's something that HellRaisers also can't really deal with. Alright. That's the first one down. I actually connected it quite quick. Don't necessarily want to use your fresh shot. It's also like you should have probably swapped in the Skadi before you press Phantasm. Just saying, that's a little bit of extra health for these illusions, but hey. Backing off for now. With 2 minutes left on the Aegis. Gonna get a lot of time between that if you're just waiting on another Phantasm. So what are the other items? Boots of Travel and Marana. Daedalus, actually. Not something I talked about. The Gyrocopter now has the Lincoln Sphere in his inventory. Just, I mean, even without boost, just with the Butterfly and just him being an agility hero. An extra bonus of movement speed. He's still pretty damn fast. Doesn't even need boots. Can still swap them back in after he's used the cheese. Now there it is, the smoke up. I think it's HellRaisers. I don't think they can really afford to do anything else but sit in their base and try and stay alive. A little bit too far behind Dead Ward. Well, scouted out. They see it. Can't get rid of it, but they know that something's amiss. Now Oracle. He shows himself, but there it is. Fencemas comes in. Initiation into the arrow. Into a dead Winter Wyvern. Immediate buyback. Now, looking for more Palantimos. Starting up for the time being. The Cataclysm comes through doing a good amount of damage. And, well, where's the Winter's Curse for now? The fight rages up in front. Ryujin up against Palantimos. Where the hell is Flensmeister, actually? All the way down south. Does have another Phantasm now, but can't quite get it off. You'll stop for the time being. Now the BKB. Winter's Curse finished up Kaoli. Alright, more buybacks being used. That's the only casualty right now on the Eco. Continue to fight, and that's another buyback from Milan. Well, Eco actually forced to walk away. Funka dies. Kaoli bought back, but gonna be one that comes back into the fray here. Ryujin keeping himself alive with the Satanic, and is he gonna win against Palantimos? Surely not. There it is. The arrow will still connect. NT is down. He is dead for good. Only he will use the Aegis. Meanwhile, the backline here, 33, trying to create some chaos. Kaoli and Flensmeister almost dying to him, actually. Meanwhile, up front, well, it gives them enough time to get rid of Only. Flensmeister needs some help, but he can't. It's too much damage here. 8 napalm stacks. And the flame break on top of him. Oracle, Kaoli couldn't even get the Q off. The fortune's end in time. Alright, this is commitment, guys. This is commitment. I want to go to bed or something, eh? Somewhere else to be. I need a party. Mass buybacks from absolutely everybody. Nobody has it. Everyone has used buyback in one way or another. NT though, that's a big one. Coming back off cooldown, but it doesn't have the money anyway. It doesn't matter for him. They know. E-Corp, they can win the game right now. They don't have Phantasm, which is a bit of an issue, but they're gonna get Milan here. 2 heroes down at the sidelines. Winter's Curse in 1 second. Link Lasso. I don't see it, even without the Phantasm. Palantimos up against the entire might of E-Corp. Maybe -1, Kunka. It's a live kill. Doesn't even feel the need for a false promise. Now Palantimos down to half health already. Disarmed here as he jumps in. The lasso gonna be countered out. Palantimos is dead. And so is HellRaisers. GG is called. Evil Corporation take them out of the running for the Galaxy Battles EU qualifiers. Well, Penta against Mouse Sports. I'm a big believer in the Penta boys, so I was definitely not out of the completely out of the blue. Evil Corporation though, I gotta admit, I did not think they would be swiping the floor with HellRaisers like this. Again, maybe it's a stand-in factor, but you really can't take it away from E-Corp. HellRaisers, they made mistakes. They gave Evil Corporation ways to turn game 1 around. Even game 2, that was just a really good draft from EC. Yoli picking himself the Oracle, forcing out the Huskar in the other team, then the instant Chaos Knight. As that hero that Huskar just cannot play against. Once he got the BKB, and T also on the Invoker. Like, he did as much as he could, but what can you really do against BKBs? Nothing. Lensmeister could continue these chomp downs. Palantimos on the Huskar, unable to really do anything throughout this entire game. 4 kills on the Huskar, 10 deaths. And well, as a result, Evil Corporation, definitely a much-deserved victory, 2-0 over HellRaisers. Gonna throw out the bracket here after I say goodbye, but let me just tell you that that means that Phase 2 will be scheduled to conclude on the 29th. Gonna start with 1400 CET with Kingwin vs Evil Corporation. Afterwards, Team Secret vs Penta Sports. The winners of that will fight in the finals. The winner of that will punch the ticket to the Galaxy Battles. Damn, certainly looking forward to that. In the meantime, you guys can look forward to some American Dota. Should be starting fairly soon here, which what games are there? I believe yeah, Team Leviathan versus Immortals. That's gonna be a fun one. Then VGJ Storm. Oh, that's the second matchup. First one is VGJ Storm versus Wheel Wreck while whistling. Mike Loris will be bringing you those. In the meantime, if you enjoyed the cast, you can follow me on Twitter @DragonDropDota. Well, I certainly enjoyed these games myself. Well, last thing left to be said is thank you guys very much for watching and see you next time.